Hello everyone, I'm Bogdan, and in this video we're taking a look at how you can do the oil change on a Suzuki GSXR600, the K6 generation. This is my first oil change that I will be doing on a motorcycle, so because I didn't know that much about them, I done some research. The best place where you can find the information is in the owner's manual, and the important things to find will be the schedule maintenance, the schedule interval for the maintenance, and after that the type of oil. So we're discussing servicing intervals. Suzuki is saying that the oil should be changed every 12 months or 6,000 miles, and strangely they are advising that the oil filter should be changed every 36 months or 11,000 miles. This is the first time when I'm seeing servicing interval that is different from the cars. So the oil filter and the oil are changed at different intervals. After finding the servicing intervals, we go and we search for the type of oil that we need. And the oil advised by Suzuki is a 10W40 grade oil, an oil that is compatible or that is approved for JSO MA. Taking that in account, I chose the Motul 7100 series, which is their top of the range best oil that Motul has. It is a fully synthetic oil. It is something that should work very well with a super sport bike, something that is able to rev up to 16,000 RPM. This is one of the reasons why we shouldn't choose a low-cost oil, because the super sport bikes usually rev very high. And if we want to use those revs, we should make sure that we have a proper oil. So we decided on the oil. Now the quantities. If we are changing the oil and the oil filter, Suzuki says 2.5 liters, and if we are only doing the oil, 2.2 liters. This will mean 3 liters just to be on the safe side. And of course we are also choosing a quality oil filter, because I didn't know that much about the manufacturers of oil filters. I went with the genuine Suzuki filter. The part number for that will be displayed on the screen. And now we have sufficient oil, we have the filter. We also would need a special tool to allow us to remove the oil filter and to put it back in. I've seen some guys showing that they were able to remove the oil filter by hand, and also they are securing it in place by hand, but I don't really trust that. So I went and I found the tool. It's not something very complicated. There are other manufacturers that are doing that tool. You don't need to buy something from the Suzuki dealership. We have the tools, we have the oil, we have the bike, and we go for the oil change. Usually in the owner's manual, this process is described quite in detail. For me, it wasn't that simple, because I found some bolts that are keeping in place the fairings that weren't very friendly. They were stripped, or the inner hex was all chewed up and the bolts were seized. So rather than going on the left side and removing the fairings, I decided to go on the right side, because I didn't have a low profile drain pan. I had to use my normal one, and I had to lift the bike. So before doing the oil change, warm up the engine. After that, lift your bike, remove the fairing on the side that you're able to do that. In my case, I've done it on the right side. You can undo the bolt for the drain pan. At the same time, it is advised for you to remove or to loosen up the filler cap on the other side of the engine. When completely removing the drain bolts, keep in mind that you will have a bit of pressure, and like in my case I was surprised of how far that oil wanted to go. So be mindful of that. Let the oil drain. After that, clean the drain bolt. What else? Make sure that you're wearing gloves. Make sure that you don't do a proper mess everywhere. Try not to pollute the planet. Once you left enough oil drain from the drain pan, I decided to go and remove the oil filter. I would have been tempted of leaving the oil to drain a little bit more, but because I don't have a big drain pan, I put back the bolt, cleaned it before with some brake cleaner, tighten it up by hand to make sure that it's not going anywhere, and addressed the oil filter. The oil filter will be removed, and when you remove it, you will have oil that goes on the exhaust. Make sure that you clean that. The new oil filter is installed very simply, and you have the same tips and tricks like for the cars, so you will need to use a little bit of oil on the seal. Here is where some people are doing the oil filter only by hand. Suzuki is saying something along the lines that once the rubber has touched the metal part of your engine, you should make a mark on your tool and twist it 2 complete turns. I've done a little bit more of that just to make sure that the oil filter was in the correct place. With your brake cleaner, clean the excessive oil. With microfiber also clean the area as much as possible. Anyways, you're going to get a little bit of smoke, so don't panic. I was a little bit scared when I started to feel smoke coming from my engine, but I remembered the fact that the oil went all over the exhaust. So we fitted the filter. We have done up the drain bolt, but we still need to torque it. We could at this point start to fill in the new oil. One of the things that I've noticed from other work that I've done on cars, some manufacturers are saying that you should agitate the container so that you will mix the additives. This is especially important if you are using a bigger canister and using only part of the content. So if you decided of buying a 4-liter can for doing this oil change, you would want to agitate the content so that the additives are mixed properly. If you're going with the smaller cans, it depends on you, because anyways the content will end up in the engine. So don't go straight for 2.5 liters. I would say go for 2 liters, and after that top it up. Some people are saying that it's not always a rule that you are able to remove all the oil from the engine, so you might have surprises. This being said, once you filled your engine up with oil, check a relative level by keeping the bike up straight on its wheels, not on the kicks, not on the paddock stands, and make sure that you have at least the minimum level of oil. You could start the engine. After that, stop it and wait 2 or 3 minutes to see the level of the oil that you're having. Top it up until you are either at middle or close to the top. Inspect for oil leaks. If nothing bad has happened, make sure that you have torqued your sump. And at this point, you could say that you have finished with the basic maintenance, mainly the oil filter and the oil for the Suzuki GSXR600. I hope that this video helps. If I forgot something or if you have ideas for future videos, please let me know in the comments below, and I shall be seeing you in the next video.